Hey everyone, Jason Nunn, Fisherman's Warehouse Tackle World, with a very early Friday fishing report, Thursday afternoon. We're going to get the jump on everyone this weekend. A beautiful day today, a bit of humidity around, and look, we're just down here at the moment in Cam's Wharf, and as you can see behind me here, the lake is an absolute picture. Still a bit of fresh water in there, and again, we're still getting the questions, do we catch fish? Absolutely, and we haven't stopped. A lot of really good tailor in the lake, and some reports today, fish up to 60 centimetres. But they're a real blend of fish at the present. There's fish 35, 45s, but there's those bigger fish mixed in with them. Still a few flatties in the lake, but it is still tough. I think the best report I got this week was 4. So look, you're just going to have to physically move around. There's a lot of bait in the lake, and there's quite a few school mulloway. And of course, just to the north of me here, Murray's Beach, still producing quite good numbers of squid. They're up towards the sticks. There's a few of the dropout, but I just think that Murray's is just a little bit more settled, not as much water moving in and out. So my tip is to try to get out there late afternoons or very early mornings, and these squid will go right the way through now till the end of April. On the flats, there are still a few whiting around, but look, you're going to have to work for them, and again, try to fish that run in tide more than the run out tide. There's kingies in the channel, there's a few kings at the bridge, but there's a lot of pelagic activity right throughout the channel. The Blacksmith's Breakwater in particular this week, frigates, Little Macs, Watson, Leaping Bonito and Bonito mixed in with Taylor, and of course they're still getting a few small snapper reds inside the head. So those from basically Lucy's Breakwater right the way across to Granny's Hole and up on the end of the breakwater. These fish are still being caught up to around about 52 centimetres, but this week I got a report of a 3 kilo snapper getting caught at Swansea Bridge. So you just don't know what you're going to get, and the beauty of it is for the shore-based angler, it's very, very accessible. If you're going to get onto the beaches, a lot of tailor along the beaches at the moment, and there's some really big fish. Some of the guys that have been fishing around the island and down along the rocks towards Catherine Bay, 2 kilo plus fish. I've got a report this week of a fish around about 4 to 5 kilo lost. So there's some monster tailor along the coastline at the moment. Haven't been too many salmoners yet, but that will come over the next few weeks. But a lot of brim along the beaches and the rocks. And you're also getting, you know, quite a bit of a mixture. There's quite a few whalers and even hammers getting caught off the beach at the moment. So if you're fishing late at night for mulloway, and of course tomorrow night being the full moon, you may get a few sharks fishing for your mulloway if you wait a bit of time. There are still a few flatted around, and still flatted on the seaward side of the bridge. If you're going to get offshore, the guys that went out to the farm last weekend did struggle a fair bit, and I'm quite surprised. I thought they would have picked up, but we've got this really hard current running down the hill at the moment on our inshore reefs, and when we get out wide out to the shelf, it's actually running uphill, and it's running to the north at around about 1.5 knots. We had a fish last weekend. I had a fish on the Sunday. There's a lot of logs out, say 80 fathoms, 90 fathoms, but they're not hundreds of them. There's particular, you might see one here and one there. On these logs, however, there's a lot of dolphin fish, mahi-mahi everywhere, and some beautiful fish. We found that live baiting, if we could have jigged a few of the bait schools, we were lucky enough to get a few of those little pencil slimies coming up to basically the debris and floating liveys back. We got some beautiful dolphin fish out there last Sunday. A great eat. Released a couple, of course, but some beautiful fish around. We got a striped marlin, dropped a couple. And the guys that fished up on the car park, in particular on the Saturday during the Newcastle tournament, did very, very well live baiting and skip baiting. But of course, lures were working incredibly well on the Sunday. So you can move it around. Black marlin, striped marlin and blue marlin off our coast here at the moment. So the unpredictability that we had last week, everything went just to a dramatic improvement. There's a tournament this week down towards Broken Bay. No doubt a few of our local anglers will head down that way, and good luck to those guys. We're hoping to get out Saturday. The forecast on Saturday, they're saying, you know, maybe 10 to 15 out of the south during the day, possibility of coastal shower. With that uphill tide on the shelf, it's not going to be such a problem. And some cracking days next week. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at this stage is just beautiful weather. So if you've got the opportunity to sneak a couple of days in for a sneaky one, fantastic, have a bit of a crack. This week's winner of our Zerek Fish of the Week is of course Craig Gibson. Now Craig went up to the Blacksmith's Breakwater and caught one of these Watson Leaping Bonito. We don't see lots of them around. We've seen a couple of photos sent in over the last month. Alex from work was up there this week, caught half a dozen in a session. So whether you're bait fishing for them or throwing small chromies or even shallow divers, but they are a real rarity. We don't see lots and lots of these fish around. They're a beautiful fish to see when you see them. So congratulations, Craig. Come on down to the Fisherman's Warehouse. We'll give you a couple of these Zerek fish traps. The lake's looking beautiful. We're a day ahead of the normal report. Let's get out there and let's catch some fish. I'll see you next Friday.